This video is to show how to fix a common problem with importing pants. You'll notice that I have pants that fit a T-pose here, and the legs are kind of crossing over into each other. So when I rig that, it might do a cross rigging where, this edge is closer to this leg, so I'll get rigged here, and this edge is closer to this leg, and so I'll get a cross rigging, and that isn't going to be very nice. So let me show you what I mean. If I pose my character into the clothing I think I can just pull the legs out here a little bit and it'll probably be pretty good. And then I'm going to rotate a little bit, and yeah, it looks pretty good overall. I'm going to conform it later, so there's some pass through, but that's all right. And so what I'm going to do now is go ahead and close this panel, and then select the pants and transfer the skin weights. All right, I'm going to use the default setting and just hit OK. And go ahead and close that panel. And now if I go ahead and pose the character, you'll see where the problem is, that the cross rigging makes the, this leg, this cuff was closer to that leg and vice versa. So it really kind of made a mess. So at this point, I'm going to go back and do it from the get-go, but you can actually fix it from this point as well. And in a way, it's easier. But let me undo this. Get back to an unrigged state if I can. There, I think that should be back far enough. Okay, so now I'm going to pose the character into the pants. Okay, so this time when I go to the transfer skin weights, let me select the pants and the transfer skin weights. Okay, this time I'm going to use the lateral partitioning. So I turn that on and it will show me, pink for the right and blue for the left. And I can't see in here right now because it's solid, but if I set the pants to wireframe, then I can see the crossover, and you can see where it becomes blue for this leg and pink for this leg. So we need to change that, and of course you can just select each vertex and set it to right or left, but there's actually a much easier way, and that is you want to drag a rectangle out nearby where your misselected polys are. So select a bunch of the nearby vertexes. Be careful that you don't cross over into it, into any of the blue, because we're going to, actually it doesn't matter if you grab some of them here, but you may want to make sure you don't get any of the leg that is supposed to be blue. So like I can go to here, so I can see where that leg is supposed to be. Now there's a bunch of vertexes selected, and you have selection tools for grow selection and shrink selection. So what you want to do now is grow the selection until you can see that these vertices in here are selected, and they'll get selected long before the other side does, because it has to be contiguous. So like you'll see this expand out here as well. So I will go ahead and grow this selection, and I'll do a couple more just for good measure. Now you can see it's selected all around here, but it's also selected all of the vertexes for this leg that are crossed into the other one. And then I'll just assign those all to right. And there you can see they're all assigned to the right now. And then you're going to do the same thing for the left. Make sure you don't capture any of the vertices that belong to the other leg. And then again, I'll just grow my selection. Make sure that you have ignore back faces unchecked so it selects on through. And then I'll go ahead and expand those out a bit. And there, I'm sure it's expanded all the way up to here now and down to here. So I know it looks like it's got them all. I can see some dots in there. And I'll assign those to left. And that looks like I got it. So I'll go ahead and apply it now. Okay, so now if I zoom back out and I select the body, oops, let me close this. I select the body and then pose it. Then I can move the leg and the pants are separated even though that we were overlapping in the standstill. So, and I might take care of that overlap with physics in iClone. Okay, so then the last step would be to go ahead and select the pants. Oops, let me close this. Go ahead and select the pants and do the conform, and usually calculate collisions twice. Does a perfectly good job. It looks like it did most of it, and then that last little bit right there. And then you can set the rendering of the pants to normal. Okay, so there you go. Now we're fixed. Now I will show you the other way that you can fix it when it's posed already in a different position. So again, I'm going to, just step backward through everything I did. Okay. So now I'm back to where I was before the pants were rigged. So what I want to do now is go ahead and pose the character into the pants. And so let's pull our legs out so that fits. All right, and then I'm going to go ahead and select the pants and transfer the skin weights. So this will give me incorrect rigging. And then I'm going to close that and pose the character so I can see my incorrect rigging again. And pull the legs out. Okay, so I've got a bunch of cross-rigged vertices. I'm going to go ahead and close this again. Select the pants. And again, I'm going to set them to wireframe so I can see what I'm doing. Zoom in a little bit. And then I'm going to go back to the transfer skin weights because you can really do it in any position. You notice I did not conform yet because I think that will create even more of a mess when I'm really just trying to get these parts corrected first. And so I'm going to do the lateral partitioning, and you can see the crossover here. So you can do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and select a big area on my right leg, and then I will grow the selection until I can tell that it has selected everything I need over on the other side. That one's is a little more tricky. So this time it did actually cross over. I didn't think it would do that, but apparently it can. So let's try that. And I'm going to say right leg and go ahead and apply that. Okay, it looks like I got all of it that way. So, and then I will go ahead and choose the other side. And I'm going to grow that a little bit. It doesn't take much. I think that might be it already. I can see the selection at the edge there. So I think that's already it. I'm going to zoom in there a little bit so you can see a little better. They're selected along the edge there. It's a little hard to see because they're red. And then I'm going to assign those left. And it looks like that got it. So I'll go ahead and apply. And that indeed took care of it. So what you're basically doing there is resetting the weights. And since it's already posed, it's following the pose of the body. And that's a lot easier sometimes than adjusting the actual weight painting. So now that it's all done here, basically, I can go in and do my conform. And I always find conforming twice because there's that little area there. It's generally a good idea to always conform twice when you do something. And now if I select the body of the character, and then I can do some other poses here as well, and everything looks good. So hope that's helpful. It's always best to model your pants in an A pose if you're modeling pants, but sometimes if you find pants online and you need to use them, or someone gives you a pre-made model and you don't want to ask them to redo it, then there's usually a fix you can do this way. Okay, hope that's helpful.